5 minutes before 11 o'clock. It's time for Damage Control. Your host is in the studio. Joe Reichel is here. And, of course, it's a live show on June 10th, 2014. Joe's phone number right now, anyway, not all the time, but right now on the air, if you want to speak to Joe, is 622-WOCA. That's the WOCA Climate Control Source hotline. Of course, Joe is one of the owners of Damage Control Services, helping restore people's homes when they are damaged. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Yeah, we had some trees fell down, and one was a condominium up in Gainesville on these cars here on Chili's.
Yeah, I was talking to Angie Lewis, State Farm last night, and she said her office was extremely busy with phone calls, people calling.
Really?
Calling in with different things. Fortunately, there wasn't, and as far as I know in our area, there wasn't any homes that got hurt, just some cars that had...
Really? I didn't see any either, but...
Yeah. Some people had some limbs go across limbs or trees go across driveways and block those. So they were calling the insurance agent for that. So
you know what's scary about that? I mean, if you're driving down a road that you always drive down, so you kind of, your mind tends to drift. You know the road, and it's at night. And a tree fell down from a storm. You might not see it till the last second.
And that is a tragic, a tragedy that could happen for sure. Yeah. People always want to, especially in stormy weather, be cognizant about that. My mom, it was kind of funny. I was just visiting my parents, 2 weeks ago, and my mom gets these kind of like a panic attack.
Oh, really?
And anytime she sees a tree across the road, she starts, or a tree falling, something like that, she starts hyperventilating almost.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of scary at the same thing.
Connection when she was
there
younger?
Is. When there's a storm, a bad thunderstorm, my dad has to drive a certain route if they're out, in order to get home, and not on certain roads because of trees leaning across roads.
Oh, okay.
She's got a fear of these things falling. So.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a canopy on what's it called, 475A or something, like if you're heading down to Bellevue, like the road that runs parallel to the interstate. Right. Beautiful drive, but I hate going down that when it's stormy. I always think one of those limbs is going to come down. It always worries me.
Yeah, that's something always want to keep your eyes open, and especially this time of the year, if you have trees that are overhanging the house or could cause a problem, even in your driveway where your cars are parked, you want to get them cleaned up. I've got a really funny story about this right here.
About the Blue Jays band.
I do. I have not had a chance to listen to the new CD. And I don't know if you noticed, but inside...
Yeah, I saw that. You're the favorite fan. I'm biggest fan.
Labeled as a biggest fan. So, a friend of mine said, yeah, I've got a CD, and she was going to loan it to me. And so I got it out of her truck, and I started listening to it, and I'm like, that does not sound anything like the Blue Jays band. And I was starting to get disappointed. And then I realized that she had put a Circus du Soleil CD in the cover.
Oh no!
Yeah. So
you were so Blue Jays band is better than Cirque du Soleil.
Oh yeah,
is what you're saying.
A lot better. I was kind of getting disappointed.
That's too funny.
Yeah, Becky McQuaid was laughing about that this morning.
and the CD that you want to is probably still in her player. Is that?
I'm assuming.
Okay.
I'm assuming she didn't tell me, but.
So I had recommended to you somebody who posted on Facebook that he had a
leak under his sink.
Right.
Called me Monday morning. I was able to find a plumber for him and help him out. We got little kids coming. Hey guys.
Look at it out there. Look at those cool sunglasses. Wow.
How are you guys doing today?
There they are.
Doing good.
We turned the camera on them. So
now they waved.
Yeah.
Now you're on the radio. And we're seeing you.
Say hi.
Hello.
You can look at it later on. Oh, I think I'm missing the little one over there. The little papoose. There we go. There we go.
Little ones. Good to see you this morning. So anyway, yeah, they called. He called this morning. He had Monday morning had a leak under his sink, and we were able to get him a plumber to get out there and fix that. I don't think there was any Fortunately, there wasn't any damage to the cabinets or anything, nothing major. They were able to mitigate that. So
the question I really had regarding that was,
Okay.
I knew you could handle it, but I was wondering, is there ever a job too small? Like, that seemed like a small job, the way he described it.
I mean, that was basically just a referral for me. I was able to give him a referral to a plumber, but
Which is what he was asking for.
right,
Yeah.
right. Is there a job too small? It depends. It really depends. I mean, if you've got a water leak, this could cause some major damage. So, that's something that needs to be taken care of no matter how small it is, with continued leaking. There has been some jobs that, upon going out there and looking at them, I just kind of refer them off to, or, just tell them how to take care of it, or something like that. For example, yesterday I went to look at a person. They called and said, hey, we've got this leak, or we got water, we think, and maybe some mold. So I went there and I'm looking at it, and they've got laminate flooring, and under the laminate flooring,
Oh, I saw this photo. Yeah.
right under the laminate flooring, I took the moisture meters out there and checked, and there was water, not a lot of water, but water under the flooring, and in certain area when you stepped on it, it squished. You could make a, hey buddy. You could. There was an actual squishing sound that you could hear coming from the water underneath it, moving back and forth. So, here's the funny thing about it, or the tricky thing about it. They were planning on tearing up that floor anyway and installing tile flooring. So, I mean, does it make sense for me and my company to come in there and tear it up and and go from there? Not really. When they're planning on, he was going to start tearing it up that night anyway. So I said, well, until you tear it up and you find out where it's leaking, I told him not to put the tile back down, but, figure out where the leak is coming from. But if you're tearing it up, there's no sense starting a whole problem.
And I would think that the two types of homes out there would make a difference too. If that, what is it called, linoleum? What's it called?
Laminate.
Laminate. If that's on a wood floor versus if that's on a concrete floor, that's got to be all the difference in the world.
Yes, and here again, if it was on a wood subfloor, you would have the wood subfloor that was damaged, and consequences from that. So, being on the concrete, here's the issue. You need to find out where the leak is coming from. He's got some plumbing that backs up to it on different walls. So, his thought, he sent me a text last night and said he thinks it's the washing machine, one of the drain lines. So, that could be, and that would explain it. But I, just recommended don't put the new flooring down until you find out for sure that is where the leak is coming from. So I guess last night he tore the floor up. He was going to put some fans on it to dry it and make sure it was dry and go from there.
And figure it out.
So see if it leaks again today. So, is there a job that's too small for us? It might be small, too small for us to take care of it, but sometimes homeowners don't have the ability, or they're not able to take care of it themselves, or have someone that can do it. So,
there's another element here too. It's the element of trust. In other words, you could look in the yellow pages or online for a plumber.
Right.
But I think most people would want, regardless of what the specialty is, they'd want somebody to recommend somebody. I mean, even a doctor, you don't want to just look it up in the yellow pages, right?
Well, and there's different sources for that. People are always, I get phone calls almost every day saying, hey, who do you know who does this?
Right.
And I enjoy that because I know a lot of people that I know, like, and trust, and I know they're going to take care of the people that I refer. And there's, like Ocala Word of Mouth, for example. That's the forum on Facebook where a lot of people go for referrals and recommendations on different things, and they're always posting about good reviews or things that they a good thing. So and people that have had experiences with good experiences with companies in the past are always a good one too. a good friend of mine has a carpet cleaning business, and he said that he'll go down to the villages and, he just puts out a little sign behind his truck while he's cleaning, and the next thing you know, he's doing a bunch of the neighbors.
Else. Yeah.
So, well, we get a lot of work like that. People that we've done work for before that, their neighbors need something done, and
yeah. Well, and actually, that chain reaction for business is what I thought about with the Facebook post that I forwarded to you, or I didn't forward it to you, but I recommended you on the Facebook, and I thought, well, even if you don't do it, physically, you'll be recommending somebody to him, and long story short, somebody learns about somebody else, and a good job gets. We had this theory in a small town, which Ocala used to be. 250 people will spread your word, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
So if you do a good job, 250 other people will know about it. If you do a bad job, same thing.
Well, Ocala's still a fairly small town, and the fact that a lot of the people do business with people that they know and like and trust, and that's the part I like about Ocala. I love the fact that the majority of the people that we do business with around here are from here. That's the nice thing about it. So local people.
And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Yeah, good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm surprised now, like the city of Ocala, which is 50,000 plus, doesn't have a better business bureau to check out different businesses. So you more or less have to go by referral, so you're kind of put in that situation.
Yeah, there are, there is the Better Business Bureau, and a lot of the companies locally are registered through that. And if you ever have a bad experience with a business, you can go there and leave a review for them. I'm assuming.
Is that fairly recent?
What's that, sir?
Is the Better Business Bureau, is that a fairly recent company?
They've been around for a long time.
We had them as guests. 20 years ago. I'm sure. Yeah.
I know back in when I moved to this house I'm in now, back in 2000, we went from one end of the house to the other and did everything you could imagine. And I wanted to get referrals for different things to do, and I was told that there was no business bureau at that time, Better Business Bureau.
Maybe on the local level, but I know it's a rather large company, and I know we've gotten reviews on there before as a company. So,
are you saying it's like a state thing or a county rather than a city?
I don't know. Do you know the answer to that, Larry?
Whether they're associated with a municipality?
Yeah, is it locally or is it like a statewide thing? Or
I had the gentleman in the studio, and he was local, but I don't know if his office was affiliated with a municipality. I don't think it is. I think it's just a standalone. I think it is. I can look it up.
Because I don't know where you could find it in the telephone book if you wanted to find a Better Business Bureau, because I don't think there's anything listed.
All right, I'll look it up real quick.
Well, I know there's the Better Business Bureau, the logo that people put on their, with their businesses.
Yeah,
so.
I found it. Let me tell you what it is. Well, maybe I didn't find it. Let me keep looking. You guys keep talking. I thought I did. I clicked on something.
We're from up north originally, and of course, it's with everything up there and all the population and construction and whatnot, it's a very usable item to have a Better Business Bureau, because every so often, even like on a TV program, he'll say that Better Business Bureau says this company did this and that wrong. Be careful, be aware of what you're doing, and so on and so forth.
Oh, Robin has it. Robin found it in the phone book. Look at that.
Toll-free number.
Oh, it's a toll-free number, but that doesn't really tell us whether it's associated with the Wymore Road. Where's Wymore Road? It's in Winter Park.
Park, yeah, for the area.
But we did have. Remember, we had somebody in the studio.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, I know you can get accredited through the Better Business Bureau, and you can have a.
But to be honest, I'd rather listen to you. I'd rather go to somebody who's used somebody. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's. Here's the thing about stuff like that. We were talking about this the other day, and a lot of times people use even, like Google reviews or
Right.
you know, they go on and they look
Yelp.
at things. Right. So you're you know, basically you've got a company who could be a very good, reputable company, and they've got one disgruntled employee who goes on and makes a you know, false review, or and they go out and they get their friends to do the same thing, and they're left anonymously, and they go from being a great, you know, having great reviews to now having, you know, several bad reviews.
Right. Well, and it's like anything else. When we have an author on, and if you look up the book on Amazon, for example, you will have 5 stars. You know, 86 people gave it 5 stars. You know, 20 people gave it 4 stars. 7 people gave it 1 star.
Right.
And you have to say, well, how is it possible that some people thought it was a 1 star and some people thought it was a 5 star? And you just have to kind of average it out, I think.
Well, and that's where, you know, I just found out this the other day. They were talking. It was on a TV show. It was talking about, you know, products that you see that are doctor recommended. They send out 100 or however many to these doctors, and if one doctor comes back and says, you know, that he would recommend this product, now it's a doctor recommended product.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, just because it's got, you know, I mean, unless someone has personal experience, that's, you know, a whole different ball game, I think.
Would you say in conclusion now that there is not a Better Business Bureau in Ocala but in Winter Park? Did you say?
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
So we don't have a local Better Business Bureau.
Well, I know I don't think it's something that locally they do. I mean, this is more like a national company.
I'm rather confident that we had one though, because I'm pretty sure the guy who came up, but that. Look, I've been doing this one for 12 years, so I know it was before this one. So it could easily be 15, 20 years ago. So
in other words, to find out the reputation of a company in Ocala, we have to go through Winter Park.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds that way.
Well, with the Better Business Bureau,
right.
But you could go through the Chamber of Commerce.
You could call the CEP, the Chamber of Economic Partnership, and find out if they're a company that's listed with the CEP. But I mean, even there's a lot more businesses out there than are members of the CEP or partners of the CEP.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, guys.
Have a great day.
And in looking, I also found the Florida consumer complaint with the state of Florida. So anybody you would have had to have complained officially, I guess, at that level, but.
Yeah. Or
somebody would have had to, but again, I mean, if you're really looking for like the dentist or the mechanic or whoever, I think when you go to, I think because of social media today, it's really a different world, and you can.
It really is.
Kind of get input from a lot of people who you know. I mean, people
that have had experience with these companies in the past, or who are looking for. Have had similar needs.
Okay.
All right. What have we found now? Robin, what have you found?
Yeah, you better talk, Robin, because I don't know what I'm looking at.
All right.
Well, we have the Better Business Bureau website, bbb.org, and when you go there and you put in a topic like foundation contractors in Ocala, all of the foundation contractors from Ocala comes up with their addresses, their phone numbers, and that they're a good company. So you can do that with anything.
Even though the Better Business Bureau itself is in Orlando.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Or
bbb.org.
All right.
There you have it.
There you go. So if that's the organization that you trust, and that's what it sounds like that's what I got from him. Mm-hmm. He wanted somebody local who was with this established BBB thing.
Right.
So, but there's you. I mean.
Well, and here again, for example, I needed someone yesterday that could do some repair work that we couldn't get to. So I called a guy that does that, and he couldn't get to it. So he referred me to someone else. Word of mouth referral is huge for me.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Personal experience.
That's why I suggested you, because I really didn't think you would respond with your company to help with the sink leak. But I thought, well, you would know somebody that you would trust with the job.
We were able to take care of it.
Yeah.
Get him somebody to take care of it.
Yeah.
I need to call him back actually and find out, make sure he got it taken care of.
Yeah. So what was with the Spider-Man mask? You were having fun? That was a wonderful photo, by the way, that you posted. You know why?
My Spider-Man mask?
It told a story. Because you were forefront in the picture, and there was 2 kids behind you.
Those are my two of my would be second cousins.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were playing Spider-Man for them.
Yep.
See?
It was one of their masks.
It's
And
like
there we
that-
have Superwoman.
It's like the video of that dad singing along with his little girl, and they're singing a song from High School Musical, I think it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's just very cute. It shows, love is what it shows. So that's what it showed in your photo.
We had a good time. I rode for a while with the window down, looking out the window like that, and people were looking at me. It was kind of funny.
Hey, Spidey.
Yep.
Anybody call you by name?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So so you didn't get any calls from the storm itself? No leaks, no.
Fortunately
trees?
not. Well, I take that back. We did have a homeowner with a roof leak call, and then we've got another one who they've got some chimney damage, and the chimney is it's not damaged necessarily, but the chimney and the house are separating, so it's causing
that's not
a
good.
water leak inside the house. So every time it does rain, they have a problem. So
Wow. How do you fix that?
we'll see. Tomorrow afternoon, I've got to go there and look.
You can't really. What would you put like a bracket around it, maybe? And
It
strap
may
or something?
require new. Worst case scenario. I'm not sure the construction of the fireplace. If it's a wood box or if this is an actual masonry block or brick. I don't really know yet. So until I look at it and see what's happening, I can't really tell. But it could just. If it's a wood fireplace, we may be able to secure it back up and then just refasten it and then go from there as far as reflashing and fixing the shingles around it. So
do you have a summer vacation in your future?
not necessarily.
Well, you just were in Pennsylvania. So
Yeah, I plan on going away a couple of times.
day
but-
trips.
Yeah, I've got another weekend trip for a wedding to Pennsylvania, and
Oh,
I
okay.
plan to go to the beach several times. But
Do you ever do the staycation thing?
what do you mean? To stay at home and
Well,
pretend I'm vacationing?
No, not at home. You go to a hotel in your hometown. Do you ever do that?
I have done that. Not recently,
No.
but it's nice, I guess.
Yeah, you're close to home.
Right.
I used to do it when my son was really little. I would do the staycation camping trip. We'd camp at the KOA right off of 200.
Hey.
Which isn't there anymore, but
Camping is fun, though.
yeah, well, you're out there, and what difference does it make that you're only 4 miles from home?
Not at all. Not at all.
It made it real handy when he got sick, by the way. He's like, okay.
We had done that as kids.
Yeah.
Just basically went a couple miles from the house and just camped. That was a lot of
Do you
fun.
know when the cars that got hit by that tree at Chili's, some of those folks were not from Ocala, so
Right.
I don't know the story as to how what they did for the night. I don't know how they got home or where they stayed.
It really depends on the situation. Possibly get a rental car and in order to get home. Sometimes the situation like that, your insurance will provide for lodging accommodations.
yeah.
So there again, it really pays to know what your insurance will cover.
Pays to have good insurance. Right?
Yeah, and it really pays to know what your policy covers. So, as this time of the year, the storms and whatnot, it would be very beneficial to call your agent and find out what you have as far as coverage.
Yeah. Joe, we are out of time. What is your phone number?
My phone number is 352-817-6574, or you can reach me at joe@damageflorida.com.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. 5 Americans may have been killed by mistake by Americans in Afghanistan.
Well, we understand that this was a large joint American and Afghan patrol in Zabul province in southern Afghanistan with the mission of trying to secure the area before next week's presidential election.
Fox's Connor Powell in the Mideast Bureau.
A senior Pentagon official tells Fox News, though, that the Taliban attacked the combined force and U.S. troops called in air support to help with the fight, but instead of hitting the Taliban,